Yo, yo. Sorry for the wait, but let's go. 1-1, episode 11. I see y'all in the chat already, so I know some of y'all hear me, feel me. I just put out a video for Amber. Shout out to Amber, who's been holding me accountable. She's like, yo, you gotta post something before you go live. I'm like, you're right. It just adds another step, another layer to it, but that's fine. Here we are. Mic check 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6, and 7. We're good. Everybody can hear me good. Everybody can see me good. Cool. We'll get a quicker episode in today. I was on WFAN last night from 11 p.m. to 2 a.m. We unpacked everything from the Yankees game to the state of the Mets after David Stearns and Steve Cohen spoke. We got into the Dodgers stuff. I'll get into that a little bit here today. I spoke on the Bayonne Little League last night. We'll do that as well here today. There's some injuries in the NFL, and there's a crazy story between the NFL and college that I want to speak on, and that'll do it. That'll be it. We'll take a look at some scores and standings in Major League Baseball, and we'll look ahead to the Yankee game tonight as the Yankees are trying to sweep. So, without further ado, and I hate that word. Who says ado without further ado? I do, without further ado. The Keith McPherson Show, episode 11, halfway to the number that I got to on that last show that I did, and I'm feeling good about that. And shout out to everybody watching on Instagram. Join up on YouTube. I just sent that out there. And, that's the intro, man. Let's get into it so we're not wasting anybody's time. Episode 11, up, and away we go. Yeah, we in there. Back again, baby. Shout out to everybody that can hear me and see me right now. I rock with y'all. I appreciate y'all. Ray was in here early. I just saw, shout out to my guy, Jay Reels, who sent BioZeo186. He said, Jay Reels sent me, I'm subscribed. You know, Pam is in here early on the check-in. Appreciate you, Pam. And we've got a new YouTube member, Rich Squires. Appreciate you, bruh. Thanks for signing up. Definitely going to be some more for members coming soon down the line. You got to pay for those memberships, and I appreciate that. So you're paying for memberships. I got to give you something for it. I got to give you some exclusive member content. But today is officially Thursday, August 20th. Time is flying. And before you know it, it'll be September, back to school, NFL, postseason baseball. And, it's a good time to just be outside and enjoying the end of summer. Sunday, or August is the Sunday of summer. And this is where you always get that summertime sadness. I got that summertime sadness. Well, here's something that should make you happy. Let's start off right now, and we'll still keep this in the intro. Let's start off right now with a story that's sweeping the tri-state area, and it's close to home for me. I used to live at 300 Constitution Ave in Bayonne, New Jersey. I've taken the Bayonne light rail to I don't know where I used to take the light rail to Jersey City, to get on the train and go to Yankee Stadium, and to see the Bayonne Little League doing what they're doing right now. You got to love it, hate it or love it. And there are some haters, and we'll get to the haters in a second. But we'll start with this because it's not professional sports, but it's sports, it's local, and it's a great story. The Bayonne Little League team is representing the metro area in the Little League World Series, and they won their first Little League World Series game last night with a walk-off home run. Let me set this up for you, and let's run the clip right now. Center field. No, we're running that back, and we're going to make this one large. Play it.
Center field, the game
Oh, yeah. Now watch him. You see the symbol he just did? It's over. Game. Call game. Okay. Now, here's where I say haters are going to hate on young Mason Rincon from Bayonne. And his name rhymes. Haters are going to hate because he did the... And if you're a man of a certain age, you remember Vince Carter, when he won the dunk contest, did the, it's over, it's a wrap. It's like the cut in your throat sign. You're not supposed to do that. Whatever. There's so much stuff that you're not supposed to do in this soft-ass world of sports that we're in. These are kids. He's a kid. He called game. He ended the game. And so he basically was doing the, that's a wrap, cut it, game over sign. And people are saying he should be suspended, and they're trying to rain on this young man's parade. We're not having it. Congratulations to the kids from Bayonne, the parents from Bayonne, the Bayonne Little League. Continue to make us proud and go and win the whole thing. Okay, moving on now. Where you guys want to go in the chat? You want to go MLB or you want to go NFL? I mean, I guess you should just go MLB off of the baseball, right? Let's go MLB off of the baseball. You want to go Mets or Yankees? Let's go Mets. Let's go Mets first. Here's a good clip from the Met game that I wanted to share with you guys. I mean, the Mets, I basically was on last night, and I said, right now, the Mets are like going to the liquor store on a Friday night, and you pick up a six-pack, and you get home and you realize it's zero proof. It's non-alcoholic beer. And you just sit down and drink it anyway. You're drinking beer, but it ain't hitting the same. They're winning games, but they don't mean anything. Empty wins, empty calories. And speaking of calories, you might go to the game and decide to get you some peanuts and some Cracker Jack. Look at this at Citi Field yesterday. This is creepy, a creepy critter. Now, let me make this big for you. And advisory, if you're squeamish, maybe look away. But somebody come and take a look at this. Somebody please take a look at what is going on in Queens.
Holy hell.
That's,
yeah.
Oh, he's back.
Ugh.
Oh, my God. Wait, Jameson, sit back. Dude.
Hey, yo. I mean, it could go on anywhere. But specifically, there was a raccoon seen in Citi Field, but they didn't see anything from the raccoon besides its paw, its hand coming up to grab some peanut shells. And, yeah, that's gone viral now. But, you know, shout out to the Mets. I will say it's still winning, right? They could just completely lay down. They're so far out of it. They're 10 games back. I basically was talking to a Met fan last night because, you know, you're stuck with David Stearns now. And Steve Cohen's, you know, fully behind his guy. And he's completely backing him. And if you're a Mets fan, watching this guy tear your team up and take all these risks with your team, you got to be feeling some type of way. So as we look at the standings here, the Mets are obviously in last place in their division, and they're 17 games out of first place. If you look at the wild card, they are the third to last team in the National League. They're 10 games out of the wild card, but they won 7 out of 3. They're winning series, and the Mets now will go on to face 3 playoff teams in a row. The Mets will hit the road, and they've got 3 against the Chicago White Sox. They've got 3 against the Milwaukee Brewers, and then they've got 3 against the Tampa Bay Rays, and that's how we will segue into what I wanted to speak on next. Speaking of the Tampa Bay Rays, shout out to my guy, Ray. Let's go to the scoreboard. Always checking the out-of-town scoreboard with the last games of the season coming this way now. Shout out to the Blue Jays. The Blue Jays defeat the Rays 5-1. The Blue Jays handle our light work, well, our heavy work, with the Blue Jays beating the Tampa Bay Rays, as we'll go back to the standings. Your New York Yankees have to sweep tonight to close that gap. You see that right there, that 4.5 games? You see that 4.5 games? Sweep the Orioles tonight so I know it's real. The Yankees haven't been able to sweep teams. The Braves, no. The Mariners, no. The Orioles, yes. The Orioles have to be swept tonight with Garrett Cole on the mound. The Yankees got to quit playing games, and they got to get it done. Speaking of the game last night, the Orioles sweeping them, whatever. There's so much talk about Pete Alonso's non-home run. And that's the thing. It's talk. It was a foul ball. It was ruled a foul ball. I didn't spend long talking about it on WFAN. I just laughed at it. And I really just think that it's these Met fans that, they just can't let things go. It's not even their team, but they're pushing the narrative. If this was Kobe Mayo hitting this, it wouldn't be a thing. But since it's Pete Alonso, former Met, versus the Yankees, Pete was robbed, and they want the Yankees to win. And here it is again. I was watching it in real time. It's obviously close, but they called it foul on the field. And then when they went to New York to review it, it was also deemed as a foul ball.
This is a crew chief review of the call, foul ball.
Don't let your eyes play tricks on you, folks.
That's got a chance to be overturned from that view. Alonso can't believe it.
It's a foul ball.
Well, they are.
Now, right there from that shot, it looks like a fair ball. But I also don't have any sympathy for paid Pete Alonso. I don't have any sympathy for the polar bear because I saw this happen to Judge in Tampa last year in George M. Steinbrenner Field, our own building. You guys remember that? To left field as well. That ball was gone. Judge is missing home runs. There's a couple home runs in Judge's career that have been taken away. I think he might have had one that didn't register in Sacramento in their minor league park. There might have been another one in Camden Yards. I definitely remember one in Camden Yards that would have been out before they changed the dimensions of the ballpark. And either way, this is what I'm saying about last night's game. Sure, would Pete Alonso's home run have potentially changed the outcome of the game? I'll give you that, perhaps. But the Yankees found a way to win the game. And the Yankees are scratching and clawing right now. And you know what? I got to give this kid credit, and I think he's the biggest catalyst. And follow what I'm saying here. George of the jungle, JLG. That's my dog. That's my guy right there. George Lombard Jr. This is courtesy of Bronx Talks. Those guys are great. George Lombard Jr. through his first 13 MLB games, he's 14 for 44. That's a 318 average. He's got 2 homers, 5 runs batted in, and 857 OPS, 8 defensive runs saved. Excellent start for George Lombard Jr. George Lombard Jr. arrived the day after the trade deadline. George Lombard Jr. has made more of an impact than both trade deadline acquisitions combined. The rookie, the 21-year-old kid, has done more to change the New York Yankees in these last couple weeks. These last 3 weeks or so. 2-3 weeks. Trade deadline was the 3rd. It's the 20th. You guys know. This young man has done more to help the Yankees than Elliot, not to be confused with Elliot Ramos, and Luis Garcia Jr. combined. Now, Garcia Jr. has been somewhat better than Ramos, but he's not as advertised. He was much better hitting with the Nationals. I'm sure it'll come along at some point, but you guys watched. I did an episode of this show live during the trade deadline the last hour, and I was underwhelmed, completely underwhelmed with what we got at the trade deadline. I wanted 2 bats. But I wanted 2 bats in the form of a right-handed hitting catcher and maybe Luis Arias. I digress. The Yankees had 10 hits last night. 10 hits is amazing for us. The Yankees found ways to score, like Jazz stealing home and just a heads-up play to duck in there and get that run. George Lombard Jr., and when I say he's impacted this team in multiple ways, a sac fly, situational hitting, knowing I just got to get the ball in the air to get a run on the board. Thank you. And then a swinging bunt, putting the ball into play, putting pressure on the defense. Pressure is a privilege, and tonight Garrett Cole will take the mound versus Gavin Williams, and I think it's a lock. This is the one that the Yankees need. Garrett Cole has great numbers down there in Camden Yards. Garrett Cole has to go out there, and with the bullpen being used the way the bullpen has been used, the bullpen's been used up like crazy. I had the bullpen budget last night. I tried to snag that quickly off Yes Network. But they're using guys every single day. Brett Hendricks got to be used every day. Bednar every day. Tim Hill every day. Fernando Cruz can't trust him, but it is what it is. Can Cole go 7 innings tonight? And then can the Yankees offense actually hit and have a 3 to 4 run lead? Dare I say? Can it be 5-1 with Cole coming off the mound in the 7th inning, 8th inning? Can it be 4-0 with Garrett Cole coming off the mound? Please. I'm not asking for too much. The defense has been stellar. The pitching I don't have to tell you about. Can they actually score more than 4 or 5 runs? I'm only asking for 4 or 5 runs and holding them to nothing. It's hard to sweep teams, as you saw with the Mariners and the Braves in our building. It's even harder to sweep a team in their building. The Orioles are going to come out ready to play. Pete Alonso is going to come out ready to swing and redeem himself and get some get back for last night. Can the New York Yankees complete the sweep? I see you guys in the chat. I'll give you guys some time right now. Other baseball stuff, I didn't really have too much on baseball. I saw our guy Nestor Cortez signed with the Phillies. Might not be your guy anymore, but Nestor was a friend of mine. Like, I got to meet Nestor and talk to Nestor on air and off air. You know, I'm happy for him getting back into Major League Baseball, and I hope he gets a great opportunity with the Phillies. I hope the Red Sox continue to lose. I hope the Rays continue to lose. I guess I'll do a quick injury report here. Cody Bellinger is rehabbing with the Rail Riders. He could be back as soon as tomorrow, I think. And I've been saying I wanted him to be back for Cody Bellinger bobblehead night, but maybe they give him a day off to recover and they activate him Saturday. Stanton is supposedly progressing in his running, and Judge is supposedly progressing in doing anything, right? Anything physical, any physical activity. Luis Heel and Clark Schmidt are 2 names to potentially start to think about. Luis Heel is healthy. He's pitching in the minors. Help is on the way in the form of Luis Heel, maybe coming out of the bullpen. Clark Schmidt is working his way back from Tommy John. I don't know. I'm not really penciling him in yet. But between Belly, Stanton, and Judge, those guys are getting ready. Belly is ready this weekend. Stanton, maybe September 1st when rosters expand. And speaking of rosters expand, you know, we're talking about what happens here with Ahmed Rosario and Spencer Jones. Let me double check my Twitter. Did they announce if Ryan McMahon is going on the IL? I don't think I saw that, but I did see the lineup, and Ryan McMahon is not in the lineup. Ryan McMahon is out tonight, and Caballero is in. So let me see if I can find that now. Caballero is in. Yeah, I'm going to steal from my guys from Bronx Talks again. But I'm not stealing. I'm putting them on. These young guys do great work covering the Yankees. I've done their podcast. I always use their stuff because they're grinding. They're doing a good job. So the lineup is out, and we'll go through the lineup quickly before we get to a couple things in the NBA quickly and the NFL. Why can I not? Do I got to screenshot it? I can't drag and drop it? Goodness. So the starting lineup is loading right now, but I couldn't do the drag and drop like I usually do. I'm my own producer, and that's another thing. Somebody out there is listening to this. Somebody out there is watching this. I'm going to have to hire a producer. I'm going to have to hire somebody like BT has J-Rod, Sal has Bada Booms. I'm going to actually have to hire somebody that helps me produce this show. With some of the conversations and things I'm having, I'm not going to be able to be a one-man band. Your starting lineup for the New York Yankees. Leading off in center field is Trent Grisham. Batting second at DH is Ben Rice. Batting third in left field is Elliot Ramos. Batting fourth at first base, Luis Garcia Jr. Batting fifth at second base, Jazz Chisholm Jr. I was calling for this young man to get bumped up on the radio last night, and it has happened. Batting 6th at shortstop, the rookie, George Lombard Jr. Batting 7th in right field is Spencer Jones. Please don't send him down. Batting 8th, doing the catching, is Austin Wells. And in the 9 spot, at third base, in place of Ryan McMahon, the agitator, Jose Caballero. I need Cabby to play. When I say he's an agitator, he's going to agitate the pitcher, the catcher, the home plate ump, work a walk, get on base, steal a base, steal another base, and then you got a sac fly to bring him home. He needs to play, and Ryan McMahon is at least getting the day off. I'm looking at Twitter right now. I don't think I see anything as far as Ryan McMahon, IL. I hope he's not going to the IL. But what did I say on this last episode? On the last episode of this show, episode 10 that I did Tuesday, I said these things always seem to work themselves out. As soon as you think, oh, how's it going to work? We don't have enough roster spots for these guys. Somebody gets hurt because it's a physical sport. It's baseball. It happens. So Brian Hoke reports, Ryan McMahon, left thumb, in quotes, nothing broken, so that's good. Just a lot of swelling. That's really kind of where we're at with it. Expects to have another scan tomorrow in NYC. So he's down for the night, and he's probably down for tomorrow too. Cabby is going to get an opportunity here to play third base. And so for all of you that have been consistently hating on Jazz, and it's warranted. Trust me, Jazz has been trash can. He's been dumpster juice. So, I get it. But for all of you that have been hating on Jazz, we need him now. He's got to play second base every day. He's got to start every day. And we're facing this string of right-handed hitters. Come on, Brody. Come on. Jazz was my big shot of the night last night. If you listen to me on WFAN, I was saying Jazz was a catalyst to victory last night. He had 2 walks, right? The stolen base. We need Jazz, and hopefully he has come out of it. He has shaken off, some of the just I don't know what to call it, boneheadedness, some of the stupid plays that we've seen from Jazz. I just need him to dial in. I need him to lock in, get focused, man. And he said it himself. We're playing these tight games. It's like postseason for us every day now. Yes, and the last thing on the Yankees here, which I was stressing last night, this is conditioning. Them playing these tight nail-biter games every night is only going to set them up for success when it comes time to play in the postseason. Because all the postseason games are tight. There's no 10-0 games in the postseason. There's no blowouts in the postseason. All right. I think that's pretty much it for the MLB talk as I scan through my notes. I think I wanted to correct something from yesterday because I was talking about how the Dodgers manipulate the IL. And I think I said Freddie Freeman was on the IL. He didn't go on the IL, similar to Ryan McMahon. He just got a day or 2 off when he fell into the dugout. But stashed on their IL right now, and maybe not stashed, these guys are hurt. Both of their catchers are down. That's why they traded for Ben Rortvedt. Will Smith and Dalton Rushing are on the IL, also with Tyler Glass now. So, trouble in paradise. The last thing I did want to speak on was Mark Walter and the sketchy Dodgers and how I am rooting for this to be a stain on the Dodgers and for this to be a distraction with Mark Walter. Basically, Mark Walter is robbing Peter to pay Paul, and he owns both Peter and Paul. He is taking money and loaning it from different companies that he owns, and he's got debt that he's got to pay back. And he just sold the Lakers to try to be able to do that because he needs the money. He needs the liquid assets. And it's all sketchy. In the long and short of it, it's like white-collar crime. It's sketchy business. He could get locked up for fraud. You're not allowed to do this. Take out loans from companies that you own and move the money to another company. He sold his stake in Chelsea. He bought the Lakers, sold them. And, when people talk about, the Yankees could do what the Dodgers are doing, no, they can't. They have a one-of-one TV deal, and he was about to try and sell the TV deal. So, Yeah, Dodgers owner Mark Walter is scrambling, and his Charter Communications company, they almost tried to exit their local TV deals for the Lakers and the Dodgers several years early in exchange for a lump sum payment. Are you crazy? Like, that is one of the loopholes that helps you build this team. And the last part of it is, they've got $1 billion plus in deferred contracts. It kind of makes you think, were they kicking the can down the road on all of these contracts? Like, whatever, I'm either going to be dead or in jail in 2040, 2047 when it's time to actually pay all of this up. It's crazy. It's crazy. It's not good. It's certainly not a good look. So $20 billion of improperly disclosed loans through front companies to benefit one guy. This is looking more and more shady. Looks like the Dodgers might be for sale next. Ross Gerber, right? So that's it. I'm not a finance guy. I'm not going to get any deeper into it. But, that's it for my MLB talk. That's all I've got on that type of stuff. You guys in the chat, I'll get to you at the end. I just want to keep this rolling on. This beat is actually called Bezos from my guy, Party Michael. So I'll drop this beat and I'll get us to the next segment.
It's the Keith McPherson Show.
Okay. Well, as we proceed to give you what you need, moving away from Dodgers greed, as they see me on their feed, let's keep rocking. I'm not stopping. I'm just talking. Yeah. And we're back. Yeah.
Another one.
So now let's go to a quick segment on the National Basketball Association. There's not much in the National Basketball Association, but there is one thing, and it's going to lead me into another thing. And again, if you heard me on WFAN last night, it wasn't that many hours ago. I'm going to talk about two things, and one of them I talked about on air. So, hey, speaking of money, this guy is in the money again. I mean, back up another Brinks truck. Breaking news, James Harden has agreed to a new 3-year, $97 million contract to return to the Cleveland Cavaliers with a player option and a trade kicker. I mean, what? People are still paying James Harden. At this stage in his career, people are still paying James Harden. He's going to play for another 3 years. They're running him $100 million. James Harden is 36 years old. That's going to take him to his age 39 season. Okay. I'll say this, because I had a little bit of time with the beard. I had a little bit of time with James Harden in Brooklyn. I mean, is he an all-time player? Yes. But is he a winning player right now? No. I will never forget watching the New York Knicks come from 29 down in the fourth quarter. Excuse me. It was 22 down. It was 29 down against the Spurs. It was 22 down in the fourth quarter against James Harden and the Cavaliers. And the whole strategy was for Jalen Brunson to attack James Harden. And then the Knicks found buckets and rebounds and made passes where they could, and they won that first game, and that flipped the series. And after watching that, that's the guy you decide to pay and put on your team? I digress. But speaking of the Knicks winning, Joe Tsai, the owner of the Brooklyn Nets, had the audacity to come out and say that the Knicks winning the championship, it's embarrassing. Now, I remember I used to know this girl years ago, and her MySpace profile or her status or whatever it was, I don't even remember now, it's so many years ago, but she had this quote. It said, "Embarrass yourself, it builds character." And that stuck with me. Anytime that I embarrassed myself or something happened that I felt embarrassed about, you get over it, you overcome it, and it does build character. But this ain't that. So Joe Tsai right here, Nets Governor Joe Tsai, he says every year some team is going to win a championship. This year that team is in the same city, It irates our fan base, and it is embarrassing. We had a plan, and we're rebuilding, and I think right now we are on a positive trajectory. All right, now I got to cook this guy. I'm sorry, bro. I'm a Nets fan. I am a Nets fan. I'm not a proud Nets fan. There's nothing to be proud about right now. This is the lowest state of the organization ever. Not the team. Not the team. I am excited about what this young team can become under Jordy Fernandez, Yegor Joman, Mikel Brown Jr. We still do have Michael Porter Jr. here. They did add Julius Randle. Those are two pros. Those are guys with a lot of NBA experience. We'll see what happens. But the only way to fix this is to win, and they couldn't even tank right the last 2 years. You know? So, like, what's so embarrassing about the Knicks, who built their team brick by brick? They went out and got Jalen Brunson. You could have got Jalen Brunson. Anybody could have got Jalen Brunson. Jalen Brunson wasn't heralded. Jalen Brunson wasn't looked at as a top guy to go get. And then they made all of the savvy moves and trades. Yeah, we're going to trade for Josh Hart, who played with Brunson in college. Yeah, we're going to trade for OG Anunoby. That guy's a monster. Yeah, run him the bag, too. We're going to trade for Karl Anthony Towns. Yep, sure thing. Oh, and then we're going to trade for his other teammate from Villanova. We'll get Dante DiVincenzo out of here. But you, Joe Tsai, allowed a trade for Mikal Bridges to go to the New York Knicks that you could arguably say that was the last infinity stone. That was the piece that they needed to win this championship. So I'm not embarrassed as a Nets fan. You should be embarrassed. You helped the Knicks win this championship. You should be embarrassed. Your organization left New Jersey, came to New York, and thought you were doing something. So much so, you shunned New Jersey and fellow New Jerseyans like myself who boycotted the team the first year because I was like, what the hell is this? They're leaving the Garden State. They're changing their colors. They're rebranding, and they're acting as if all of this history here in New Jersey doesn't exist anymore. They're leaving us for what they thought was greener pastures. You know what? It was in regards to it's New York, that arena. It's more accessible. They sell that place out. They were struggling to sell out in East Rutherford. But I'll say this. Your mistakes are your own with how you treated Kyrie. Also with the trades that you made of James Harden, and you took on Ben Simmons, and then you sent KD to the Suns, and your return was Mikal Bridges. You could have kept Mikal Bridges. You sent him to the Knicks. So, like, you want to talk about being embarrassed? You should be embarrassed. You should be embarrassed because your building gets overrun by Knicks fans. You haven't built a competitive team. You hired Steve Nash to be the head coach. You let Jacques Vaughn be the head coach. You should have went and just got Ime Udoka when you had the chance. But you should be embarrassed. When you go to sleep at night, you should be embarrassed. Because in New York, your franchise has never been more irrelevant. Rant over. And that concludes the NBA talk for tonight. Can I get another beat? Can I get another beat? Okay, folks, we're going to hit some football.
It's the Keith McPherson Show.
Okay. About to talk some football today. Football I used to play back in my heyday. Yeah. Now I'm washed. Super washed. I'm old. Like Oshkosh Bagosh. Bet you didn't think I was going to say that. Yeah. Got a beat back. Bet you didn't know I was going to play that. Bopping, rocking. Yeah. Not stopping. Bopping, rocking. On the podcast talking. Yeah. Hell yeah. Okay, get to the football stuff. Get to the football conversation. All right, we're done. So let's do the NFL talk. But before we hit the NFL talk, it is between the NFL and between college football. And this is the Wild Wild West right now. And I don't know when it's going to be stopped. But I think that this is going to be a step in the direction to stop things. Please take a look at this.
Bring to my attention that couple of weeks ago, I had a couple people bring to my attention that there may be up to hundreds of players who are released here in the final NFL cutdown day, which comes Sunday, August 30th, that could somehow find their way back to colleges. We now have NFL teams with 90 players on each roster. They have to cut down to 53 by Sunday, August 30th. That's 37 players per NFL team, 32 teams, 1,184 players who are going to be released here in the next few weeks. Some of those, depending on these judges' rulings, now will look to go back to college because colleges will pay. There will be players who have choices to make. Do I go to this practice squad where I can make this amount of money, or do I go back to college? If they go back to college, then colleges have to cut players to make room for the players that were just in NFL camps competing for NFL jobs. And again, I know we're in the time of a wild west in college sports, but this is something that is transformative and will shape two different sports with players leaving from the NFL to go back to college. We've heard of it going the other way, but it could be going the other way now. It's crazy.
What are we talking about now? Like, what has happened to all of this? Once you leave and you declare, like, there has to be hard lines. Once you declare for the draft, you're out, buddy. And then, like, take it a step further. Once you suit up and play, they got guys playing in NFL preseason games, getting cut and being like, yeah, now I'm going to go to Florida. Now I'm going to go to Ole Miss. Now I'm going to go to LSU. Like, what? It is the wild, wild west. So basically what you're saying is there is no more amateur sports after high school. College is officially a professional league. It's the minor leagues for the NFL when it comes to football. So BR College Football, Bleacher Report College Football writes, former college football players who signed NFL contracts want to return to college. And here they are. Jack Pyburn, who signed with the Buccaneers as an undrafted free agent. Daquan Wright, who signed with the Eagles as an undrafted free agent. Trying to go back to Ole Miss. Or anywhere. I don't know if they're going to go back to Ole Miss. They're just showing the schools they came from. Xavier Harris signed with the Saints as an undrafted free agent. Declared from the draft for the draft, didn't get drafted, signed as a UDFA, and it didn't work out, and they're trying to go back to school. These are grown-ass men. Anthony Hankerson signed with the Dolphins. He's trying to get back too. Wyatt Williams. A lot of these are Ole Miss guys. What's the trend here with Ole Miss? Man, I say no. You get cut, go join a practice squad. There are incoming freshmen from high school. There are young kids that are playing college football. I don't know. I don't know how they change it. I don't know how they police it. It is something that I never imagined happening in college football. In all of my years, it's not like it. We had talked about them getting paid. Yes, they should get paid. We had talked about, improper benefits for years and how they were getting cars and jewelry and different things. But now we have jumped the shark. I don't know the term for it. It has gotten to a level of just like ridiculousness. And I'm 20 years late. Really? That's why I'm mad. Tell them why you're really mad. I'm mad because I'm 20 years late. Because I was good enough to get multiple scholarships. And I could have figured out a way to do something. So here's a Throwback Thursday for you. Maybe we'll make this a new segment when I do shows on Thursday. Throwback Thursday. I mean, this week I didn't do Monday, Wednesday, Friday. I did Tuesday, Thursday. So I found this picture 18 years ago on Time Hop. Transferred from Monmouth University. Changed positions from quarterback to wide receiver, kick returner, punt returner, whatever. They threw number 40 on me. Tried to humble me. I had to work my way to getting that number 4. And then I just wrote, stop trying to catch the ball with your fingertips, son. Like, look at that catch. I definitely caught that ball. But why are your fingers crunched like that? You gotta catch the ball. You gotta catch the ball like this. Where's my football at? I think my son has a big football in his room. You gotta catch the ball like this. I'm like, why? But clearly, you could tell that's a quarterback transitioning into playing receiver. And then I was looking for something today because today is National Radio Day. So I was looking for stuff about myself online, if I could even find anything from my college radio days. And then I found this. Somebody come and take a look at this. What the hell? What in the? So they got me here. And look at that. Baldy. Why you ain't got no hair up there? They had me gain 5 pounds and lose an inch of height. Played me. So my junior year, I was 6'1", 190. But then my senior year, I'm 6 foot 195. That's why I quit, bro. That's why I gave my scholarship back, bro. No, that's not really why. But I am one of the probably only people all time to say, I'm good. I don't need this athletic scholarship. You can have it. I'm going to go to class, be a regular student, and I'm going to get out of here with my radio and television degree. And it might take me 10 years, but you will hear me on the #1 sports radio station ever in the #1 market in the world. I did effectively do that. So happy National Radio Day to me, to you, and everybody who celebrates. Other than that, folks, there's injuries all around the NFL. I just saw Jaden Higgins got hurt in practice. It's not a good look. Tyler Biadasz, the center. Jaden Higgins, the wide receiver from the Texans, if you guys don't know who he is. And I'll pull up some graphics for you to illustrate that as we're about to wrap up here in a couple minutes. Thanks for watching. Hit like on YouTube and comment and all that other stuff. For those of you watching on Twitter, I will add the link to YouTube underneath so that you can get with the program, so you can subscribe. Shout out to the new members. We're going to do some private streams for the new members, for people that are paying to be a part of the tribe, paying to be a part of what I'm doing here, what I'm building here. And I can't wait to show you guys the future of this thing because I'm blessed. I'm having good conversations about where this podcast is going, and I will explain in a video on my social media at some point what happened with the Mic Check show that I launched in the beginning of the year, which was supposed to just be YouTube only, and really had hopes and dreams of getting that on TV or streaming platforms. That is no mas, but this is real now. This is just me every day, every other day, cranking out shows. And you guys know I can run it up with conversation. So let's finish the talk here as we get to 45. Here's Jaden Higgins. Suffered a torn ACL. You hate to see it. He was going to have a big year. A lot of people were expecting him to have a big year this year. So that's tough. That's tough. Get well soon, but your season's effectively over. I think last episode we talked about Jamal Adams and his season ending. Here's the team that they beat in the playoffs last year, the Chargers. Rashawn Slater missed 8 straight practices. Tyler Biadasz, he's out with a knee potentially for the season. They got Justin Herbert smiling there. He's smiling because he's married to Madison Beer. He ain't going to be smiling when he's on his back. All right, that's all I've got for this episode. I did have another correction. I think yesterday or Tuesday Tuesday when I did the last episode, I said, I don't know how far Najee Harris is, in his Achilles recovery. Well, right after I ended that episode, I saw clips of him being out on the field, getting reps and running. He's going to slot in there as running back 1 or 2 right away. And Jordan Raanan reports that Najee Harris is in live drills at practice just days after signing a 1-year veteran minimum deal at $1.2 million. No guarantees in his deal. Harris looks pretty good physically, having just signed and coming off a torn Achilles. So he's good. I'm guessing he's 100%. He might be further along than Malik Neighbors. Okay, some love in the chat. Back to Rich. Shout out to Rich for becoming a member today. Who else popped in? My guy Kevin, who helps me with some of the videos, some of the clips. Kevin, I'll hit you after this. Kevin says, Jerry, we in here. Alex was talking about hating on kids is just criminal. Yeah, hating on the kid that hit the homer for Bayonne is crazy. It's crazy. We need length out of Cole tonight, Rich says. Absolutely. 7 innings from Cole. I need 7 from Garrett Cole. Jay Reels popped up. Keith, my man, what's happening? Good to be here. Jay Reels, appreciate you, bro. Keep plugging away. Who did I just see Jay Reels interviewing? It was a young lady. Shout out to Jay Reels doing his thing. Don Corzone says, when are you going to say the MLB gave you that win? Never say never. I'm never going to say that. They didn't give us that win. Nothing is given. That was a foul ball. Jay Reel's passing by to check out Keith. Good to see you. Appreciate it, fam. Alex says, we've been playing amazing without 4 of our best players. Exactly. Nestor was a fun little cowboy for a minute. Of course. Nasty Nestor night with the mustaches. That was fun. Bruce says, look for Cabby to have a night. He wants to show you. Yeah, he's got a flair for the dramatic. This is the last game of the series to sweep the team. I expect him to make an impact. Chef Mamba, what's good? KM to AM. Now my show about going OT. Yeah, I'm putting in time, bro. I'll be back on the Fan Sunday, and we're going to keep pushing this thing. I've been talking to different studios. I've been talking to different platforms. I can't tell you too much, but like where we are right now, I consider you guys my early adopters. You guys are my community. I think when you actually join my community, it's called my tribe. And then if you pay for the bigger community thing, you can be a chief of the tribe. But you guys are my tribe. And as we grow and we get in front of more people, trust, all these names that I see in here, I'll remember all of you. And I won't forget about it either. This date and time says, your happy hump day to all. A little late to the show today. Hope you're all doing well. Hey, better late than never. I was late to the show today. I saw Ray hanging out and maybe Pam hanging out. I started the show off as going live at 4:15, 4:30, 4:45. Hey, with that being said, we got to wrap this thing up. So shout out to everybody again watching on Twitter. If you are on Twitter watching this and you're not subscribed on YouTube, make sure you subscribe. If you are on YouTube now, hit like on YouTube because that's going to trigger the algorithm. And that's all I've got for this episode. Again, I'll be back on WFAN with a little Sunday sauce. We'll do a little Sunday sauce on Sunday after the Yankees postgame show. And, yeah, we'll keep it rolling, man. Appreciate the support. Thanks for watching once again. And you know how we end this. Stay blessed, stay up, and stay ready so you ain't got to get ready. I'm out of here. Peace.